Little
Oh,
ASMR.
stop it!
Little ASMR.
I poured rosé for this very moment.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and babies and everyone in between. Welcome
Airs.
to our heirs. Welcome to a
heirs.
very fancy New Year's Eve celebracion con two favorite aunts, which is Spanish for
Yes.
your favorite aunts. I was trying to find like some sort of like cute, like gold. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm
What?
gonna upload a new background just for this moment. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. I love when you surprise me with these. I love them so much.
It's what I'm here for.
I love it.
Welcome to a very special edition of Your Favorite Aunts New Year's Eve time. The background is now an image of who we are as women in the world.
Yes. Which one am I and which one are you?
I mean either or really, but
I feel like you'd be more sparkles and I'd have more cleavage.
you know,
So I think it's appropriate where
speaking
we are.
about today, I think I'm winning personally.
Okay, it's fine.
It's Anyways, hi everyone, welcome to Your Favorite Aunts. I'm Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum, obviously. And
No, I changed my mind. I'm Miley Cyrus at Miley Cyrus's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
And I am obviously Machine Gun Kelly.
Nice. And we're your favorite aunts. Welcome to the end of
We're
the year,
your
everyone.
favorite aunts.
Welcome
We're
to the
so glad to be here. I am in the Pacific Northwest. I literally drove
back up in Bend.
Guys, I drove through a snowstorm to get here in time. So my makeup is a little more discreet because I'm in Bend. I also have, are you ready? I have this. So I'm just like ready to just be your Pacific Northwest dream. I mean,
it's hair when it's just like it's always interesting like when like hair is just like it kind of reminds me of like those fancy dogs that have like the big curly floppy ears.
This looks like my dog's ears. You're so right. Yeah. Before we get started, because you know this is a very grown-up show, I have two lovely ladies who want to say hello to everyone. So I'm staying with one of my best friends and her two daughters who call me Auntie Sarah. So ladies, bust on in.
Come on in. It's time to make your debut.
Make your debut on the YouTubes. They're so excited.
Hello.
So
hello,
this
family.
is Isley, and this is Joy.
Hey, Isley. Hey, Joy. Did you guys have a lovely holiday season?
Okay, I'm going to make it where they can hear you. So, because it echoes if I do it normally. So, girls, are you ready to answer some questions? But then it's going to be so quick. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Quick question. Was Santa Claus good to you?
Yes.
What did you enjoy about the holiday season?
Seeing my cousins.
Well, that's a good answer.
What is the true reason for this? Actually, season. What are you planning on doing in the new year that you didn't do last year?
And we're asking adults that question later, so that's a great question. What do you guys
do snowboarding?
We're gonna do snowboarding. This one here.
Nice.
And then, someone is turning 5 this week, and because they're turning 5, they get to do something they've never done before. You want to tell what you said you've never done before that you get to do when you turn 5?
Gum.
Bubble gum.
You get to chew gum?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
When my sister was turning 5, my dad always hid bubble gum under her pillow. Bubble gum.
She's waiting
and awe.
She's waiting for her birthday just to be able to get the bubble gum out. And I say, hey guys, do you have any fancy things I can wear for New Year's? And this is what they brought me.
What is that exactly? It looks like a tuna roll or like maybe a piece of sushi.
It's like a candy
headband.
Oh, it's a candy. So it's like a Halloween deal.
It's a candy headband. Yeah, it's all we had.
It's okay. It's great.
Good enough. All I had was this shiny dress.
All that Kevin had was a shiny dress. Also, when I asked, "Oh, is that what you're wearing for New Year's?" Kevin said, "No, I have other outfits."
This is just Kevin what I got.
Oh wait, yeah. Go ahead, tell Kevin one more thing.
What? I got my ears pierced.
Oh my gosh, I got my ears pierced too over the summertime though. How exciting for you!
All right, guys, in the other room, make sure you don't listen.
I mean, you can, but you'll only hear one half of the conversation and it won't make much sense.
It won't make much sense. All right. Say bye.
Bye.
Wow.
My
Our
girls.
second two guests on your favorite ants.
Ah,
Goodbye,
all
little
right.
one.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That was the most exciting thing when I was setting up everything. Like, what's this for? I was like, I'm on a YouTube thing and a podcast thing. And they're like, oh, with Kevin? Because they are your biggest fans.
I'm just now looking at the grievances. Are you kidding me on this first one?
I'm sorry to say it's true. Just about an hour ago.
Oh no.
Okay, so we'll say what it is.
Okay, we're just gonna
We
ruin.
hope we're not the
we're-
first one to tell you guys that 2021 took another saint. Betty White passed away before her 100th birthday.
Damn, was that supposed to be today she died, or was it like a week ago or so? When did she actually die?
She died today.
Today.
Yeah, she died they announced it about an hour ago.
Wow. Well, god damn it. You know,
Mhm.
Betty White, we speak your name. We raise a toast.
Raise a toast to Betty White.
You know, to Betty fucking White. Cheers.
Who's
Oh.
basically our patron saint now at this point.
Go ahead and canonize her, as far as I'm concerned. So
Come on. Anyone who says, I don't know why they talk about being a pussy, when clearly that's the strongest thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
We love her.
That just ruined my entire year. So,
Okay, I was just
anyways,
going to say, how the hell are you?
barring the sad news of a passing of one of our elders.
Our elder. Yeah, for sure.
Today's been actually absolutely delicious for me. Like, I had one call with a client. I spent a lot of time just sitting about and reading and dreaming. I'm gearing up for tomorrow because tomorrow I am kind of restarting. I had this thing for a while I called Saturday Church, where people would get on the line and basically we would do like some sort of like service thing for folks who may not really feel comfortable doing church stuff.
Right.
And so I'm kind of bringing that back, but I'm just calling them the crowded table gatherings. And so we're just going to gather on the internet. We're going to have some music. We're going to have some poetry. I'm going to do a little preaching. I'm also like sharing all the things I'm trying to do in 2022 and what the support is going towards. But I'm sure we're going to get into that in a minute when we talk about dreams and things.
We will get there. But
how are you, Miss Thing?
I'm really good. So I had a really difficult day yesterday, but it turned out really well. So I was driving up. I was supposed to just drive straight to Bend yesterday because I was really excited about setting up for the show and coming and seeing my friends. And Highway 5 was closed because of snowstorms and rain. Terrible weather, by the way, here in the West Coast. Terrible. So I drove through LA in just torrential rain, got to Highway 5 and it was closed, panicked a little. My friend April, whose house I'm staying at currently, is literally a godsend. She was like getting me through the pass as she's like talking to me on the phone. It was amazing. She's like, okay, what you're going to do is turn around. So like before everyone else was figuring out where to go, which I discovered, do you know that like SIG alerts and things like that don't automatically upload? Like, so like anytime there's a closed road or whatever.
What did you say? What kind of alerts?
Call them SIG alerts here. Like
SIG alerts?
Like
signal alerts.
But they call them SIG
Never
alerts.
heard of it. This sounds made up.
It's not. In any California will tell you that they look up SIG alerts to figure out what's closed. So any closed road or anything like that doesn't show up on our Google Maps or on our Waze. So a lot of people showed up and the road was closed. So it was hard to get up. So yesterday but I found out from a friend that him and his wife had booked a Hilton for me because they have all these Hilton points. And they're like, we were worried about you driving. So go to Redding. And then I remembered a student I mentored lives in Redding and she's pregnant. So I got to hang out with her and talk to her. She's getting married in a month and like they've been together forever and it's like super exciting and they're great people. So I got to have dinner with her and like it ended up being like such a happy accident. And the other thing that happened is this morning I drove here with like super bad weather and I thought I couldn't sleep last night. I thought there's no way I can do this. Turns out your girl is a badass. I like drove through the storm. I wasn't worried about like putting chains on my tires or anything like that. I knew what I was doing. And I got here in lots of time, and I had kind of a relaxing day. Like I was driving in really bad snow, but I was like, I can do this. I'm capable of this. So I would say
Congratulations.
I'm having a similar day where I feel like, yeah, I kind of know who I am and what I am and my strength. And that part feels really good.
It's lovely. Well,
Because
if
I
you're
was
with us
afraid.
live on the air, I would also like to know, how are
How the
y'all
hell are
doing?
you?
How the hell are you doing? How was your holiday? What are you doing for New Year's Eve? And the like. Go ahead and comment in the
Yeah,
chat, and let's, get a conversation going.
I would
And
love
if
that.
you're listening to this later, you can always just tune in live with us on Fridays.
Yes, please. We love it.
Yeah.
Sierra says, Queen, thank you. Because y'all know I am Canadian born, but I've been living in the South.
Mm-hmm.
So in Southern California or like Southern United States, I haven't had to deal with this kind of weather in a long time.
In a while. So, shall we get into the things?
Grievances. And then we're going to move into, so we're doing can I give away why we didn't ask people questions on social media?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to get into some visioning. Instead of just goal setting, because goal setting we know doesn't work necessarily. It's more about visioning. So we're going to do some visioning together, and we're going to do, we'll get there. But let's start with our usual, for those of you who love the grievances or did you hear a section. Why don't you start with
hot
this
goss?
hot goss?
Hot goss shit I want to talk about that, we already said, Betty White, RIP once again. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
So I found a story on our, internet human, former Southern Baptist woman, Beth Moore, writer of all of these like biblical womanhood things. And basically she's like, I'm leaving the SBC. It's clear to me that they only care about Trump. And now she is Anglican, allegedly.
Okay, so here's an important thing we need to talk about. Ready? History of Anglicanism and the difference between Episcopal and Anglican, because it confuses people.
Big difference.
And Theo bros want to be like, I'm Anglican now. And you're like, ooh. Okay, so I literally just texted my friend for more rosé for me to be able to talk about Beth Moore.
What a friend. What a friend.
Oh, the best. Yes. She's literally the best.
We're truly living in luxury.
Living in luxury. Yeah. So why is Anglican on our grievance list versus, like, we love people becoming more traditional. That's great. You do you.
Yeah.
I love a traditional moment. I love
liturgy. I love all those things. Anglicans don't ordain women, and they don't affirm queer people.
They do ordain women.
Since when?
Anglicans, I think, have always ordained women.
Oh, weird. Well, either way, they definitely don't affirm queer people. Like, that's like, they're really cool in so many other ways, except
they
that.
like to say the reason they left had nothing to do with that, which is my favorite thing. Okay, this is the same thing that's happening in the Methodist Church, a schism over LGBTQIA inclusion, but we're going to say it's a schism over whether or not a church is universal, like the way that it's structured. So the Anglican Episcopal, you guys, schisms, clearly I'm passionate. Anglicans, Episcopals, right? The Episcopals and Anglicans, the Episcopal, the people who are now deemed Episcopal, were the ones who were like, hey, we cannot sign on to this no LGBTQIA include. Like, whatever, and they're like, the structure of the church, you can't tell us what to do. And that's what it became about. Oh, it's not about the LGBTQIA inclusion. It's about whether or not we're a community-based church or based on what we're told we have to do. No, it's not. No, it's not. And that's the Methodist thing as well. It's like, oh, we don't like that we have to be told, because here's the truth of the matter.
We don't like being told to include everybody. We don't like, because it's like, that's the thing with being a Baptist church. Baptists, regardless, I mean, like, unless you align with the SBC, but Baptist in the classic sense is actually autonomy of the local congregation.
Yeah, so it's called the Congregational Church. So that was the claim, but that's actually not the case. And it's just one of those things that's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So yeah. Yeah, the Anglican, so that's important too. So, England and Canada, if someone tells you they're Anglican, they're most likely affirming. That's important. Because they are what is considered the Episcopal Church. So the Episcopal Church, also called the Anglican Church, same words,
But different things also,
but different
but
only in the U.S.
confusing
Only in the U.S. And
because
there
of
was a
course.
giant land grab when all of that happened. Giant land grab. So the Episcopal Church owned a giant building in Newport Beach. And then that local church decided they wanted to go with the Anglicans. And they were like, yeah, give us your property. And it became this big battle that was really over you're not being inclusive, and so you're no longer part of our body, which is kind
Yeah.
of an interesting statement, because sometimes those of us more in a progressive camp don't set boundaries because we want to include everyone, including those who don't want to include us. So it was a very interesting thing that happened, and that just so the
I mean,
Anglican.
I wanna say for that comment, speak for yourself. I don't wanna include people like that. I don't wanna include everybody. If you're an asshole, you don't get to be here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're not one of those people, but a lot of times, and I gotta say that our Episcopal brothers and sisters were like, "Nope, give us your shit."
Mhm. Like, this is our property, goodbye.
Goodbye. You can form your own church. That's great. Hi, bye. We
But
still own the
we
property.
own this building.
Yeah,
You can do whatever you want, we just can't do it here.
right. It's this beautiful building, and it became like this big stance because it made that church declare what they were,
Mhm. And I think all churches should do that personally.
which is why we have something called the Clarity movement, which I think is really important.
Church, yeah. It's sad how it just kind of fizzled a little bit.
Hmm.
Always had potential. But, what do you know? So
All right.
and also the reason we're talking all that is because Beth Moore, who left the SBC, is allegedly Anglican now. And I'm like, everyone's like, oh my God, Beth Moore is like moving towards something more progressive. She's right there. No, she's not. No, she's not.
It's baby steps. I think she'll move.
You know what? I bet you $52.
$52 that before Beth Moore dies, she will be fully
Not
inclusive.
before she dies, next 10 years. No, I want to say 5 years because if it doesn't happen soon, it's not meaningful.
I do love that. I think you're right, that it's not meaningful.
Yeah, because it's like when Eugene Peterson was just like, "Oh my God, I love gay people." Just kidding, died. You
Mhm.
know? It's like, Rob Bell saying, "Oh yeah, I was always inclusive." I'm just like, "You didn't say that when you actually had any stance in the Christian world at large. So you coming out as affirming
So
now doesn't do anything for us."
because here's what, there's no risk.
Mhm.
The problem is that so many of our brothers and sisters and all things under the sun, just by their very identity, it is a risk. And I'm about to get on my little soapbox. I don't
Get on the
love
soapbox. Yell
I
yell at people. It's a new year.
It's a new year. I want to leave behind in 2021. Uh, my light turned off. That was weird. Oh, I got it. People who male pastors who become affirming and then want you to celebrate them like they came out of the closet.
Yes. Let's not celebrate the bare minimum.
Well, I want to celebrate it in your personal, actual relationships, but I don't think that now you should call every gay person you've ever known and been like, guess what? I believe in your inclusion now.
I'm like,
Congrats, you think I'm a human? I don't know what to say. As someone who is not queer, I feel like it's so easy. It's so easy for me to celebrate my risk when my friends have been risking by just being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. I
It's
get
just
mad about these things.
as you should. It's something worth getting mad about. I think more people should get mad. I think in 2022, people should get more mad.
And yeah.
Get angry about it. But then also process that anger in a positive way that leads you back towards peace.
I just think there's such an incredible moment for people to get off the platform for a minute and say, make it be an empathetic moment. Wow, how this feels for me to risk people knowing my public stance is how you felt every day sitting in my pew as I preached vaguely about love and didn't say that who you are and what you love is okay.
Mm.
That's
And
the
again,
moment. It almost
if
should be an apology.
yeah, go on don't make it an apology tour. Don't go on tour and make money off of it. You know,
Apology to her.
listen, I'm
Does
looking at
that
you.
happen?
I think Josh Harris was trying to make a fucking documentary out of I Kissed Dating Goodbye Again.
Dating,
I
kissing
kissed
you
dating good.
goodbye.
Nobody kissed me. Everybody kissing dating goodbye, not kissing me though. What?
Why? I don't know. You're so cute.
And also, just I want to make out with some of it. Like Optimus Prime is out in these streets.
She's rough.
She's out here. I have never had so many of, and again, like all of my friends are vaccinated. Forever, and as we're getting boosted, like we are, doing that. I got boosted myself last week. But it's just like I've never seen so many positive results in so many close social circles as I have in the past few months, or in the past week or two, actually. Do I need to keep talking because your sound's fucked up? Yeah, I'll keep doing that. Um,
You can hear me
what's it?
now.
Yes, I can.
We're good.
Perfect.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
It has been incredible to me how many, like on Instagram, Christmas Eve. I just was scrolling
Mhm.
through Instagram. 5 of my friends in a row had Omicron.
Mhm.
All of them were vaccinated, so they just felt a little under the weather, but they had to stay away from their family.
Mhm.
So it was rough.
Yeah. So please go get boosted, friends. It's real simple.
Please.
I mean, I didn't sleep well that night, but I also think that I had anxiety about other those things are related.
Yeah.
But either way, I'd
Also,
still do it because now my efficacy against protection is very, very high.
yep. Next thing we want to talk about, I need to tell you that I didn't know the name of this movie. And so my friend yesterday texted me as I'm driving, don't look up. And I was like, why? And then he said, no, it's something you should watch on Netflix.
Yeah. It's not a documentary. It is a film, and it's got like the all-star cast: Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
Meryl Streep,
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence, Timothy Chalamet, Ariana Grande.
Oh, love.
It's wonderful, but like for those, like if you even have like a modicum of awareness of how the world is going, you might just get triggered and be like, wow, this is it's happening. I just got like I was exceptionally tired already, but like I got so pulled into this in a way I didn't expect to. I'm talking like I had anxiety and I had to go hang out with my friends after that because I'm just like I can't be alone right now. This is not good. Because the film is basically just like
I was told, tell me if this is fair, that it's like Idiocracy. Is that the name of the movie?
mhm,
But with more ties to how the world currently actually is.
100%. And
Yeah.
the thing about it is like you could see this as I mean, like I read an article by a climate scientist who said just like there's a comet that is coming and it's called climate change.
Yes.
And this is how everybody's acting. Like
Yes.
we've been screaming at scientists, screaming at governments, trying to scream at the public to get someone to recognize that if we don't change now, the earth is going to die.
It is
Um,
dying.
it is already happening. So it's very just like,
I think we have a tough time, and friends who are listening weigh in. I think we have a tough time when we know we're not going to be alive for the totality of it.
mm.
But I will tell you, I actually have friends, like close friends, who are not having kids because of climate change.
Oh, I'm not having kids for that among them. Climate
Mhm.
change, the political climate that I currently live in, and I don't know where I'm going to have to raise that child if I would have them. I would literally like if I lived in Germany, I probably have a regular life because like
Unpack that a
just
little bit for me.
their social stuff even for immigrants
Mm,
is incredible. So like if you work in Germany, you have healthcare.
right. It's like a Norwegian country as well. They're Norwegian countries also.
Mm-hmm.
So just 2 of our listeners already have said, "We are making that decision." One of my reasons, yes, is
Mm-hmm.
not wanting to bring children into the world because we're not sure what we're giving them.
Mm-hmm.
Guys.
It doesn't have to be this way. In 2022, let's say yes to looking up at the comet that's coming to destroy us.
Ugh.
It's called
Um,
climate change.
don't look up, guys, but also please look up and pay attention and
No, just
be
look
aware.
up. That's
Just look
the
up.
name of the single that Ariana Grande. You should just go
Oh,
on YouTube and like they made us. It was like, all right, this is our last chance. Like it was called The Last Concert on Earth, and Ariana Grande was there. It was like, you know what? That is actually true. If the world was ending and there was an Ariana Grande concert, you bet your ass I would go.
okay. So if the world was ending, this is a great question to ask both people who are listening and you yourself. If the world was ending, what concert would you want to be at?
Is the world ending during the concert, or is it good? Or is it like this is just the
Directly
last
after.
concert I'm ever? So I'm gonna go home and then
Yes.
or I'm gonna go
We know
out.
the world is ending. All the musicians decide what they're
Ooh.
going to do is play concerts, and everybody can see their favorite concert. Knowing the world is ending, there's nothing we can do about it. You still have time to like do your family stuff.
Easy. I'd go see Brandy Carlisle.
Oh, I like that choice.
The catalog, the catalog. See, that's what I'm there for. Oh, well, let's be honest. If the world was ending, Beyonce would be on the rocket ship that went into space already. She's gone.
She's already gone. She gone.
Not an option. Otherwise, I might say Beyonce.
Well, Beyonce would probably do a concert and then at the end of the concert launch out.
No, the thing is, like, she would pre-record it. It would play as a hologram, and she would already be in space. We wouldn't know the difference.
We would. Oh, so true. In fact, I'm not even sure that's still Beyonce. Is Beyonce in space?
Don't you dare!
Because
I
I'm
don't.
sorry, she's the same age as me and looks way better than I do. So
That's because
obviously, yeah,
that's because the amount of like black don't crack. She is like,
true.
and also she probably eats organic everything.
I know.
You know, she
What are you
probably.
saying I don't?
What are you just like? Yeah, what are you saying? I drink organic things too.
I mean,
This is grapes.
this
It
is
has
great.
antioxidants. So
Um, it's so hard for me to decide what concert I would go to. So I don't know why I asked you that question.
you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Well, I feel like I want to. Um,
Well, don't think too hard.
I would. This is just pure silliness, nostalgia. The original Bare Naked Ladies.
That could be hot. That could be fun.
The original with Steve. The original, because I saw Ryan Reynolds won a Canadian actor, like it's an incredible award, and we talked about it before. And he, the original Steve Page, I think his last name is, original singer for the Canadian band Bare Naked Ladies, sang, and I was like, I miss that voice, and I have got
Mm,
so many memories tied up in that. So I just love to see them. But it's not like they're my favorite band, so I don't know why. It feels like I would feel a little bit safe, and then
mhm.
I don't know. So, friends, what concert would you go to if you couldn't go to another concert ever
Because the world's ending. That's what we want to know.
again? I know.
Um,
Next question. Next thing is really
Next
something
thing.
you had to tell me about because I didn't know about this. And
Oof.
I will be honest with you. I didn't know much about. I was very supportive of this organization for a long time until there was some leadership issues and
Oh yeah, same.
so
So we're here to talk about the TRP post for a minute. So if you're not privy to what was going on, Reformation Project is an LGBTQ Christian organization that advocates for the inclusion of certain queer people within church communities. And the reason I say certain people is because they recently made a post talking about their values, among them being on the same post, monogamy and covenant and diversity and inclusion. So it's like, okay, I don't see how y'all didn't see how these are diametrically opposed things sitting right next to each other. Like that's just very funny to me. The post itself is honestly like not very well written in my opinion. Like it's a lot of run on sentences, and also it's just like I don't see how you don't see yourself contradicting it in there because they're saying, okay, so we believe based on church teaching for the love of the Bible, scripture and tradition, that we should only have sex, sex specifically within monogamous, covenantal, same-sex relationships.
They don't.
Which
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so there's we're specifically asked. It says here that is why we are specifically asking churches to bless monogamous, covenantal, same-sex relationships. And then continuing to go forward is like, okay, so we're not, if you don't get married and you have sex, it doesn't necessarily say marriage there, but just like monogamous is like the key word.
Monogamous. Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, here's the deal. Nowhere in the Bible does it prescribe monogamy. No, and as a non-monogamous person myself, I think it's really stupid that this is what you're going to get hung up on. I'm like, you can continue to advocate for why it's okay for gay people to get married, but at the same time, if your inclusion, if your advocacy stops there by centering heteronormative relationships, then all you're doing is make an idol of marriage. And then secondly, right after that, they made the paragraph says, basically, we shouldn't shame people for having sex outside of marriage. And we think that churches shouldn't shame people about that. Don't shame people for having sex outside of marriage. But also, we only want you to bless monogamous, covenantal, same-sex relationships.
Which I think the problem is it feels like so many things that put certain things on the table and say everything is open for discussion, not that.
And here's the deal: is like I'm fine. Like you are monogamous as shit. I am not.
I've never felt judgment for my monogamy.
You're monogamous as shit, which is a great thing. It's a great thing. It's how you best connect with the world. I mean, I don't know. You assess that. I think it's great.
I mean, yes, I do like it. I do prefer it.
Yeah. So there's nothing that's the thing is that like within the conversations around sexuality and gender, moving and relationships in general and how we treat one another is that Christian tradition has centered not even like this is also in recent history, probably within the past. I mean, like since at least since the empire, began creating monogamy as the thing. But it's especially in the past, 50, 60 years of America, like after World War II, the nuclear family being the center of everything we do in the society, including how we create our church structures.
Yes.
And so, because we have the marriage retreat, and then we have the young couples retreat, and then we have, it's youth group retreat. Then you get saved, and then you go to the college retreat, and then you get married, and you go to the couples retreat, and then you have the babies, and you have the empty nesters retreat. And you send your kids to the youth group retreat, repeat the cycle. But what happens if you're not married for whatever reason?
So this got me thinking a lot about, I recently listened to, have you heard of, there's a great podcast called Smart Less?
Nope.
So Smartless is a podcast done by Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And they bring on
that's 3 reasons that I don't want to listen to that.
But they bring on, so they had Tiffany Haddish. Do you know who she is?
Of course I know who Tiffany Haddish is. A gem. American treasure.
I only knew her work. I didn't know her story. I did not know her story. This is someone who lived in the foster care system, never was adopted, was emancipated at a certain age, but that's not her, just this incredible, and talks about the centering of family in a way that she says, but we also have to understand that so many systems have been built to destroy what we consider family. And so her whole thing is oh yeah, we have Black people working 7 jobs to survive. How are you supposed to be a family unit? So Tiffany Haddish and all that she's doing is kind of reframing what family is. And I think my biggest complaint with so many of these organizations, and I don't know the Reformation Project inside out, other than I know some folks that it's really, and that statement, I can't. But I will say,
some people they really fucked over.
Yes.
I'll
I
say
will
it.
say this. We're using the same rules.
Mhm.
We're saying, I need out, I need freedom, and we're still using the same rules. So,
Yeah, because like that's the thing is
right.
like it really is wild to me. Like
It
the
still centers
Reformation
the same people.
the Reformation Project is an example of what happens when you deconstruct one thing, but you don't keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
point blank period. And like I'm thankful for all TRP did for me. It got me from point A to point B. But I was also like stuck, like when I was working in that mindset and in that framework, I was constantly left defending myself, and not even defending myself, defending a point of view of no, defending another person's alleged point of view from 2,000 years ago. I'm like, why am I even trying to debate sexual ethics with somebody who died 2,000 years ago? you know,
Can I
or
ask
longer.
can I ask you a question as someone who grew up in a system a little bit different than mine? Could you have walked into did you need those steps?
Um,
Because I admit that I know they damaged you. I know they harmed
no,
you.
I think no. That's the thing. It's just like I did like that. It was
Okay.
my stepping stone, and it was my community for for about 4 years. Because like from the moment I came out, I went to all the cohorts. I went to every conference.
Mm.
I was sold out because I thought we're doing good. We're helping make changes, and like because we were like learning how to organize and actually like make change. Um, but it
So
was
I
just like
think we have to let people have the baby steps and strengthen the things that bring them further. Um,
I mean, the,
and
the the
call
problem
out
is like
the harmful things in the baby steps so that people within it go, "Oh, I felt really safe here, but now I'm wondering, oh, you're right." You know what I'm saying? Does that make
mhm.
sense? I hope so.
Yeah, it's no, here's the thing is like you are constantly always gonna like point out the good things that are happening, which is necessary. And I will always say it's just like good can happen with at the good and let me say this. Progress can happen at the expense of no one.
Right.
It is possible to do that.
Right. Right. You're right.
And like I that's why for me like because also just like at the very top of the show you said we should stop celebrating people for just doing like basically the bare minimum. So
I know. It's
what
not
is it,
fair.
Sarah? What is
I know.
it?
Guys, I am a walking dichotomy. Literally, a boy that I
Um,
had the biggest crush on in seminary said to me, he looked me deep in the eyes and he said, Sarah Heath, you are a walking dichotomy. And I thought, I've never been more seen in my entire life.
yeah, and also, yikes! You should get that back together. Then you don't want to
And
be You don't want to be dichotomous. You are
I am
one.
incredibly feminine and I play with tools for fun.
Why is that's the Lord is God. The Lord is one. Sarah
Thank you.
Heath.
I will merge all, I will transcend and include. Thank you, Father Roy.
Yeah, you are just literally like that's the thing. It's just like the same person who can like dress up and put on some false eyelashes and look like the one, the only one, is the same person who is also working with power tools. No
That's also
difference.
me. Um, I need you to throw before because I want to do like 5 more minutes in this, and then I do want to start getting people to think about their 2022. Can you throw up the AlphaCon photo?
Oh, can I? Let me see if I can pull this up.
Have you guys seen this? Please tell me you've seen this, folks who are watching this live. And if you
Right.
haven't seen this, if you're listening to this podcast, the AlphaCon is something that's happening in Salt Lake City, Utah, February 18th through the 19th. Sure, it's in person. Be great or be nothing is its tagline.
Look at
Look
this.
at these guys.
Like,
What do
first,
we notice about them?
let's just zoom in for a minute
Let's
and
just
wonder.
and wonder other people what is sticking out to
What
you?
is going on with this homie? I'm not here to roast him, but just like if I saw that,
So there's a guy in the middle who
he
looks
looks like a predator.
angry.
He looks like a youth pastor who wants to take your money. This guy is on
Is
roids.
oh no,
This
that guy is
guy
like
is
a I feel like he's like that guy. I feel like is like a MMA fighter. This guy, the top guy, Aaron looks like a okay. Yes, also you're right. They are all white. They are all male.
I'd also like to point out this right here. Sarah Heath, as a fellow Greek student in college, can you tell me
Uh-huh.
what that is?
No, I can't. What is it?
That is the Greek letter lambda. What is
Lambda.
this called?
Alpha. Guys.
Lambda? Like
Alpha.
you didn't even get it right. Like
I know. I know. I know. But
you
it
didn't even like you tried to be a douche. You tried to look like a douchebag, and you did, but now you look like a dumb douchebag.
so what the hell is this thing?
So
AlphaCon. It's like teaching men to be
so
men. And why isn't Mark Driscoll going to this?
he's a no. He's their he's
Oh,
the
he's like the
chaplain.
granddad of them at this point.
Yeah, he's the chaplain for everything.
Oh,
He's gonna
perfect.
come and open. He's gonna open it in prayer.
Oh,
Oh my god.
what?
So
I
like
don't.
so if
The
you
the
go over like
facial
on the
hair alone.
it's bad. So basically, out there in the world, there is this group of men who believe in being alphas, and to be an alpha man
Hmm.
is basically like all this like toxic masculinity bullshit. Uh, it's it's basically toxic masculinity rolled into um I don't know. Somehow they're making money off of it. Basically, by tricking other men into thinking the same things as them and paying them money to teach them how to also be men. And now, like, if you look on social media, like, if you look all over TikTok, there's like alpha TikTok. It's just dudes being horrifying.
Okay, can I say it? Because we say
Can
it
you say
about women
what?
all the time. So I'm going to say it about them. Are you ready?
Yes?
I think it's people who are, it's guys who have daddy issues. I was never
Oh,
man
for
enough.
sure.
I was never man enough. So we always say about women, she has a daddy issue instead of saying the dad
The
failed,
father
right?
was,
So
yeah, or
right.
like your dad was abusive or some shit.
Right. It's like, oh, she has daddy issues instead of like maybe your dad was a shit. But I also think like these guys were what is lacking in your life? The most masculine men I know, masculine, quote unquote, are
Hmm.
the men that I find myself feeling a sense of they're also in the closet. Yes, El Sol. Um, the
Maybe.
men that I find
Possibility.
myself feeling this sense of peace around are the ones who don't have to declare. So I think about my friend Tim, who you've met, mountain of a man, handsome as can be, college football player, college basketball player, theologian with his PhD, brilliant, could go dancing with anyone. Nothing threatens him
Hmm.
because he is so aware of who he is. Doesn't need to tell you he's a man. Doesn't even care if you think he is. Because man isn't he would probably say man is an identity. Like just sort of
Hmm.
like I just am who I am. And to me, that is the kind of like that feels real. It feels like that's how you hold on to whatever. I hate all these identity bullshit.
Well, because like the thing about like calling yourself an alpha is also to say that there's such a thing as a beta person
Thank
or a
you.
beta man. It's like you are like I mean like it's got insecure frat boy written all over it, and I say that because I
Oh,
used to be
nailed it.
one.
Yes, nailed it. That's
And
exactly
it's
it.
and it makes me sad because at the end of the day, who is
You're handsome. You're good enough. Go for it.
yeah. I'm just thinking, I'm just like, who's gonna have more fun at the end of the day? Like this fag who's going out in a dress and eyeshadow, or you who's gonna go, drink Coors Light and hang out with all your bros who are also all painfully straight and
And
actually
uncomfortable.
not get any sex that you claim that you want to be getting because that's what you're here to do.
I think
Like,
it's more about like what is the ideal that you're shooting for? You want to be
and is
wealthy?
and is this it? If you're a male identified person out here in these streets,
Is
I
this
just
what
want to
you're
let you
hoping for?
know. I just want to say you don't have to do this. You really don't.
No. You be more, be better. You're worth more than that.
Yeah, you're loved. You're
You
loved.
are. Don't work for it so hard for it. You got it.
Yeah.
So I dated this guy in college who all the other guys in his fraternity made fun of him for he was a musician.
Mhm.
He was so comfortable in who he was. And women, his last name was Miller. I won't give away the rest. We call him Miller the Killer because he was a good looking dude, but he wasn't like, I mean, there were a lot of really good looking guys. But the thing about Miller the Killer was he was so okay with who he was, and he didn't need to put down anyone about who they were ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so magnetic. And I think that's the thing these guys are missing. They're like, I'm so great. And if I yell it, everyone's going to be enticed
And
by it.
also, I have to treat women a specific way because the only thing I want from women is,
Right.
and also like they also advocate that you cannot have a non-sexual relationship with a person of the opposite sex.
Oh God, I know. Oh my gosh, please read this. I once dated a self-proclaimed alpha who didn't know how to wipe the ass because moist wet wipes are gay. He left stains on my sheets, so I dumped him.
Yuck! Goodbye.
That
That's
says it
the
all.
thing. I'm just like
A literal asshole.
Listen, if cleanliness is gay,
Mhm,
I
we
mean,
okay.
not apparently everyone. Not by a long shot.
Ugh.
Speaking
Ew.
of,
Okay,
listen,
let's
girl,
move
let me tell you
beyond.
what.
Go ahead.
Moving on. To wrap up the end of the show,
We wanted to do, because we love a vision board.
we love a vision board moment, and even though I don't have a vision board on me, and I don't feel like
Not
trying
yet.
to project one on the screen, I just want to talk about with you, Sarah, like what are your visions? Like what are the things you are bringing forth? What
Yeah.
are some things you're excited about?
Yeah.
Do you have an intention?
Yes, I do. So I really feel like what we're doing as a irreverent media group is really profound. I won't say who, but we've been chatting with some folks about it, and mainstream media, people who are
It's
not
really
with.
it's really funny to me when you say I won't say who.
Well, because I
I
don't
won't
want to
say
make
who.
it. Because I don't want to make it weird, but
We've been
for
talking.
them.
I won't say who. It's always it's always just like I just think it's so funny that you always like I won't say, you're very mysterious, Sarah. You're like,
Because as a
oh.
clergy member, like I hold so many secrets, guys. I hold so many secrets.
You need to deposit some of those secrets so you can unburden thyself.
Point is, I really want to help diverse voices within this field do really well. So my hope is in 2022 to be really helpful in launching our stuff a little bit bigger.
I just the comment from M, it says it's the unspoken prayer request vibe for me, Sarah.
Yes, Em, you nailed it. You have nailed me.
Did you unplug something by accident again? Yes, it happened. Don't worry. It'll come back in a moment.
I'm here.
You're here.
I just clapped, and that always takes her down. I need a new cord. Can you hear me? You hear me. We're good.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Continue.
that's just one thing. I really want to I want to be more intentional about the work that we do. And I've got another podcast coming out, and I want to hop back in to so around this one general area, podcasting. I want to be more intentional around it. And it was really fun for a while, and then it wasn't, and now it's become really fun again. And so I want to be super intentional around that. So making spaces.
When you say super intentional, what does that mean? That's a buzzword. I don't know what it means.
Thank you. That is. It's terrible. Thank you.
I want to be intentional.
Like I just want to lean in. I want to lean in.
I really want to lean into my intention of.
I really lean into it.
No.
By that I mean I just hired an editor to work with us on our new show that comes out called Rev Covery for people who are leaving or transitioning within their ministry position. And I want to start recording for the Making Spaces podcast again. After listening to the Tiffany Haddish interview, and when I say that it was so important for me, what she does for her community has reminded me that I do want to start doing things like Patreon and giving back. So I want to there are 2 organizations that I'm really serious about. One of them is called the Girl Garage, and it's for women. It's women teaching, and it's so cool, Kev, because it's women or those who identify as women. So they have several non-binary teens who get to be part of the program because so often they're left out. So they're mentored by female builders, so architects, builders, and that kind of thing. So I want to give part of what I create back towards them because I think it will make me more intentional about my work and more like getting stuff out because it's not just about me. And then the other one is my friend has an organization called Rosecrans, and it is
called
for Rosecrans. And it is for really making sure that people of color are getting younger people of color are getting apprenticeships and internships. And this is one of my like very bestest friends from seminary, Halima Nash, who was in Forbes 40 under 40 recently and is just killing it.
Light flex.
She's incredible. She used to be the Chicago Bulls nonprofit manager. She's just incredible. And the work she's doing for her own community in South Central LA and for a lot of folks who are having a tough time finding internships and apprenticeships, which is how people often advance, is incredible. And so I want to support that as well. So those are the things within podcasting. I want to get a little more serious about asking people to support me in it so that I can support others. What's one thing that you want to like put on that vision board? So if that was a vision, it would.
That was just like, one vision.
There's just one. Yeah.
That was just one.
Should it be my only one? Is that my main focus for 2022?
That was like 18 different things.
Yeah, it felt like it all fell under the same thing, but ADHD, so maybe not.
No, you said like I'm gonna pour into 2 different podcasts. I want to start giving money away to different organizations.
Building the structures around our podcast so that I can do all these things. So yes.
Yeah, that's like 3 or 4 things. That's not
You're
just
right.
one.
I need to write it all down.
You need vision. You need to get a vision board.
Shane
says the same thing.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah. Well.
So what about you?
I think,
what are the things you're starting to vision?
Well. So I want to figure out how to just continuously like grow the Crowded Table, which is the online community that I help curate. And that means like doing regular kind of like, there's not a good word, calling them gatherings right now, like online gatherings, because that's what we can do right now. But as the world opens back up again, God willing, inshallah, I want to like start organizing, we've started to talk about meetups, like regional meetups, because we have like 126 people, a lot of people in Minneapolis, a good chunk like in the South. Like, I just want to start like gathering together as community in different places. And I want to do a retreat. I really, really, really want to do some kind of adult camp for our people. That's really, 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 really what I want.
So here is a thought I have. As you hear Kevin and I talk about all the things that we want, they do seem like a lot of things. So why we create a vision board is it creates visual imagery, just like an icon or something like that around something that means more. So my encouragement to you who are listening is think about like the big things that might include like 18 things, write it down and then find one image that represents that for you. And then one image, you know what I'm saying? I want to help people do the same work for themselves and within themselves. So you talk about like the Crowded Table, which is the number of people who have told me the Crowded Table has meant something to them, Kevin, has been so incredible for me as a friend who's like, yeah, like it's just so fun for me to see people who are really great, but who have experienced the Crowded Table. Is there an image that comes to your mind when you think about that? Or when you think about like, because you gave me we talk every day, but you gave me this like incredible image around this camp idea. Is there a way that you can make it into an image?
Image. I don't know. There's not like one single thing. No, it's not an image, it's a vibe. You
So
know?
even if you're creating an image board, you can grab a word that says that vibe for you. You can grab an image that says that vibe for you. And I think the important thing is just to sit down and talk about it.
And
Even if
think
it's
about it and then write it
think
down.
about it.
And specifically, like, it needs to be recorded in some way. Like, because, like, otherwise, like, your ego is going to think of a zillion different ways to talk you out of it, or think of reasons why you shouldn't do something.
Yeah. So
But
as you hear
it's
go ahead, sorry.
nope.
Because I think it can be, like, overwhelming to think, "Oh, I need to, like, write everything down," but the important part is just starting. Because even if you do
Mhm,
bullet points, words that mean something to you, whatever it might
mhm,
be, it helps you have something to focus on and think on. And Kevin, over the last year, the things that you, like, have been shocked over, "I wrote this thing down as, like, a weird reach goal. I was aggressively
mhm,
specific about it." Sarah, I never realized it just showed up.
mhm.
And I
Telling
think that's
y'all.
yes.
I mean, prayer and magic, like, just ask for what you want, and then get in, like, stop worrying about how it's going to happen and just get into the feeling of it. Because, like, the
Right.
reason we think that we want these things is because we think it's going to make us feel better. I'm just like, why don't we just skip that part, feel better now, and let the thing come to us? Like, get into the flow and know that you're flowing to it. Like, you don't have to make the money to feel better. You don't have to change your body to feel better. You don't have to move somewhere to feel better. Like, because you are going to go with you wherever you go. So if you don't actually, like, you know, change your mind about who you are,
Mhm.
like, what do you do? Like, come on. Like,
And
that's the thing. It's just like getting in, like, the journey matters. How you feel as you do it matters. And I don't think enough people recognize, like, that's the real miracle, is
don't
that you
miss
get to
out
feel better now.
don't miss out on what is now because you're, like, setting for what is later. So, I think a vision board and that sort of stuff can also include what you're sitting in right now. What are
Mm,
the things I think it's as important to sit and go, "Here are the things that I'm hopeful for, and here are how they're already showing up." It
mhm.
might not be in the fullness of it, you know? Um, I love this movie, which is so corny. Did you ever see the movie Under the Tuscan Sun?
That's the one with Angelina Jolie and Edward
No,
Cullen.
no.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
no. It's this movie about this woman who goes through a terrible divorce, and she's like, "I'm gonna move to Italy and meet a man, and I'm gonna find all these things." And she does exactly what you're talking about. She's like, realizes it's actually about what I wanna feel from all those things. And at the
Mhm.
end of the movie, she doesn't get all the things exactly as she thought she would, but she realizes she got every feeling she wanted to feel.
Mm. Mm.
So I think
Ain't that something?
and the realization that they were there in the beginning. So the
That's the
love of
thing. If you tap your heels 3 times, you can go home right now. But if I told you that before you got where you got, you wouldn't have believed me and it wouldn't have worked. That's the thing. It's just like God is, ooh, come on now. God is constantly telling us, I've got all these ginormous plans for you. But just like you don't but if I tell, like, if I can't tell you how, because that's not the point. It's just like, it's like I could tell you that you could do it, but you wouldn't believe me. So why am I going to tell you that? I'm, I can't move you from a thought where you are to a thought that seems implausible. I got to move you one thought at a time, one action, one moment, one step by step at a time.
and
That's
our
how God
brain
works. That's how the universe works. That's how we should work. But we are trying to move at the speed of capitalism, and it doesn't work.
and our brain works really well in making meaning through image. Even if we're blind or something like that, there's like an image. And so that's why we want to invite you for 2022 to make a vision board that includes images, words, whatever works for you to help you see both where you are and where you'd like to go.
Yeah, or don't. You don't have
Or
to make
don't.
anything. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna do one tomorrow. That
I
sounds fun
am
to
going to
me.
do it tomorrow and I'm going to bring it next week and you're going to love it.
That's everyone's homework. Send us your pictures of your vision boards for a chance to get featured on the show.
Please, please,
Um,
please. Actually, I would
other
love that.
things coming up for me. A Tiny Revolution is gonna go on semi hiatus for a little bit. I'm gonna just pull episodes from the vault and do a lot of encore episodes for a couple months because I am launching a new show called Deconstruct Everything. It's going to be very much like a Q&A show, where people can submit questions, people can call in their answers, people can call in and be on the show if they want to, but all in an effort to kind of bridge the gap for some people, because like I feel like there's I see a need that could be filled, and I want to start doing things that are hyper practical for people. So
And your other one is?
the other thing is called Mask, MASC. It's going to be on masculinity. I'm still mapping that one out. So that's coming late spring, probably.
Late spring. But I think it's really fun. You're stepping into some big things, my friend.
I hope so.
I know so.
And I have to admit that champagne gets me so tipsy so quickly.
I had like a whole glass of rosé, but I'm not feeling tipsy. Okay, so things that are coming up for me are Recovery is coming out in January. We're very excited about it. I'm also working on making spaces to be able to come out in February, so that's very exciting. I am also I'm still coaching folks and looking for clients if anyone needs to figure out how you want to transition from something to something else. If you want to talk through what are my big goals, what are my life plans, that kind of thing.
You want to make a vision board.
If you want to make a vision board, but like on a grander scale, fun thing.
If you want help executing your vision board, hello.
My brother and his best friend are two of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And so they saw the image that you and I put up. And my brother wrote, be great or be nothing. Also, never wear a shirt that's the right size.
Amen.
And then his bestie said, oh, Lord, that's the 3.5 inch club, which, guys, we don't have to talk about our PPs. That doesn't masculine make. But also funny.
Yes. Oh, we're jumping back to the alpha. We're jumping back to
the alpha male thing. Yeah, they saw the thing. They saw our thing that we put up, so they were commenting on it.
Crazy.
But they're not going to comment in the public thing. But I thought it was funny, and it's the end of the year. Friends, as we step into 2022, thank you so much for joining Kevin and I on this fun little thing that we do, which is just two friends having fun together, being super weird, and you guys show up, and we appreciate you, and we love you, and you're our heirs. You're inheriting all these sequins.
Yeah. You're going to inherit the vast amount of money we're making off of this show.
Thank you.
You can't see it on the recording, but I'm winking a lot. I had a good time with everyone here. Happy New Year. And wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you.
Okay, guys, we love you. Everyone. Make good decisions. Drink water.
I'd also like to say, I also want to say, go Captains. I got this from my school when I graduated.
Weird flex. Bye, friends.